Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and in today's video I just want to talk a little bit about the patch 7.3, the whole patch, the Zone of Argus, and how to do content right. After playing through World of General, a lot of people have had a really bad taste in the mouth from whatever Blizzard were to throw out. And of course there'll always be naysayers and negative Nancys left and right. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like whatever, somebody puts out. And for a giant like Blizzard, they're basically like a big old punching bag where they can't really say anything back, and people can just throw shots whenever they wanna, but nobody really pats them on the back. And I kinda gotta give them a pat on the back with patch 7.3 so far. I guess for the most part with Legion, just about everything except for patch 7.2 with the Broken Shore, they had a lot of time getting for it. Argus was basically 7.2 with the Broken Shore, but instead of one zone, there's 3. There's a shitload of things to do, whether it's the main story or whether it's just the content on there, whether it be for mains and alts. Now, if you're somebody who just loves having a lot of stuff to do in WoW, Blizzard has delivered that, I feel like, just about every single patch of Legion so far. Now it's been pretty great. But Argus in particular deserve an extra dick sucking. Let's talk just a little bit, the story. You have the Draenei going back to the Draenei world, the Valen story, Sargeras, the Triumvirate, and then a little bit of the Void, right? I'm not a channel that really talks about the lore, but I love it, and that's all I really have to say about it. Second, the themes, just the themes to every single area. It's a hostile demon world. I mean, they literally have green lava and platforms for you to jump on, and those platforms aren't perfect, so you have to be really careful, because if you touch that lava too many times, no matter if you're a tank or a healer, no matter what kind of gear you got, you're dead. And I love that. I love the hostility it creates, the massive amounts of mobs that people I really would rather avoid than just plow through, because these mobs might actually kill you because they have a lot of health. I love the fact that as a main character, things are kind of sort of challenging. They're not completely like, okay, this is completely overpowering me, I can't get through the content, because it is Legion and Blizzard and they are trying to make the game more casual friendly, but I still like the sense of, okay, there's some danger to a rare that I'm fighting. It has a hell of a lot more health than whatever the hell I fought back on Azeroth, back in High Mountain, Stormheim. All those rares are really just a kid's game. I like that these actually prove a challenge. But when I get on an alt that has like no gear on Argus, these guys, I mean, I literally would take 4 punches, I'm dead. I can barely survive them, so I have to group up. So then it's like, okay, this kind of like group content. You have to get together with other people, so you're always playing with other people, whether you're interacting with them or not. And it's not that crazy of mechanics, just the fact that you get together with other people. I kind of like that. The whole group play aspect is there for me. And you also have a ton of treasures, ton of rares all over the place, so there's always something to do. Whether you're just farming rares that are on your dailies, let's say world quests that pop in, or you're just farming rares just to see if you can get a little bit more Argonite, a little bit more tokens for gear, maybe some tokens for your alts. There's always something to do, and these rares reset every day, so you can get an add-on that shows location of all the rares. Whether you're farming, let's say, mounts, which they added a bunch of mounts from various locations. I already got like 2 or 3 of them. One I got on EU that I don't have on US, so I'm having this discrepancy now between EU and US mounts. But I just like how there's just so much to do, and a little bit for everybody and a little bit for everything. With this whole Legion, this whole Argus, this whole destroyed planet with Void and demons and Fel and everything. I think it's really cool, and I enjoy the shit out of it. It's great whether I'm on my main or whether I'm on my alts. Then there's also the invasions. They basically are recycling the invasions that it was with Azeroth, where they would basically have phases to a fight. You would go to a zone and it would get really laggy back in like what, pre-patch. And they basically keep recycling that content, but it still is kind of fun, it's kind of fresh. Again, it has the same experience of, for your main it feels somewhat challenging because of mechanics sometimes, because of the number of mobs, because of the environment. And then on the other side, it's a little bit, it's even more challenging and sometimes completely impossible if you're on your alt. So you really do feel like the gravity of the situation and can kind of appreciate the content, the stuff you do. It is a little bit repetitive, but it's repetitive in, I guess, in a fun way, where it kind of makes sense. And it's all about the more players you have, the more overpowering you can be. Unity together, the more players you have, the easier the content is, rather than the mechanics. I even like the bosses, like even the bosses that you do for the big gates. They have some mechanics that are kind of fun. And it's kind of cool, like when you go in against the she's a succubus boss. and she just MCs everybody, and people keep yelling at each other, just turn around, just turn around. Or if you have the Agatha looking the fat boss, well, I don't know her name, when she puts people to sleep, everybody runs by in a circle and just tags each other to put each other out of sleep. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. It's not too mindless of content. It's content that you can enjoy, and I feel like they kind of just did it just right for like your average daily kind of content, while the raids are still the difficult part when it comes to learning mechanics. The PvP is still its own thing. And with another like Crucible, I can kind of appreciate it. I thought at first, oh, another Crucible is going to be this great big thing, but it's actually just minor adjustments. Like even the buffs that it gives you, like one of the buffs that I got from a weapon is it'll deal randomly 200k shadow damage and it'll heal me for that same amount of damage. That's basically my neck enchant that randomly procs. And it's kind of neat, just the fact that we have these kind of mechanics, though, these random ass artifact relic capabilities, I guess, the procs, the random heals, the random forms of damage, the dot that I have now with my rogue, which I would have never expected to have a dot on my Outlaw rogue. And I don't know, I guess it just kind of forms well together for something to advance the weapon in kind of an interesting way that doesn't impede the gameplay too hard, but it doesn't ruin it at all. But it still allows you for a little bit extra of, I guess, progression in terms of the artifact system. Overall, I gotta say, 7.3 I'm pretty happy with. Even though mostly PvP, I have been doing a little bit of PvE. I am leveling a bunch of alts, so for somebody who is primarily a PvP player, for the most part, I am pretty happy with what Legion has done with 7.3. And with it looking like Legion and patch 7.3 might be the last few remnants of this expansion, and they'll probably introduce something new next BlizzCon. The more they can do of this kind of wholesome gameplay where there's just stuff to do in every patch, it doesn't matter if there's a story, it doesn't matter what the environment is, it doesn't matter if it's repetitive, as long as there's stuff to do, like a lot of stuff to do. I feel like Blizzard will just do well in the future. That's all I wanted to say, just kind of pat them on the back. Let me know what you guys think about Argus. I actually am enjoying it a lot for my ults. I'm probably gonna go after this video and just go play on it a little bit before the stream. And I'll see you guys all in another video. Peace.